First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to Up Next. This is a show where we watch NXT every Tuesday night. In Davey Portman, who is not here. He's traveling to the home country, the UK. He's going to hang out over there. So he is away this week, but he will be back. But his spot with a great accent there, Siino.
You gave me away. I was gonna do the whole show in Davey's like voice and see if anybody would have noticed, but it's all right.
You're gonna pretend to be him the whole show? That's not
yeah.
offensive. I think we've established that you're the only accents you are allowed to make fun of for some strange reason is the British and Italian, and that's what you are. So I mean, it's fair, I guess.
That's true.
In a way. Yeah. Well, welcome to Up Next. Yes, we are your NXT friends at UpNext Podcast on Twitter. If you haven't followed already, it's Tuesday nights. It's come Tuesday.
Yeah. Come Tuesday.
So I mean, it is because he's back. So we'll be talking all about that. But welcome to the show, Siino. How are you? I know you had quite a fun weekend because you got to go to some wrestling this weekend.
Yeah, it was kind of like a last-minute decision to try to witness a GCW show firsthand. It was in Hammerstein, so I kind of had no excuse not to go. It was just a matter of like trying to get a good seat, trying to get a good ticket. So I ended up getting balcony seats, and then a friend of the show, Brendan, was like, "Hey, I got an extra, front row ticket if anybody wants it." And I was like, "Hey, if nobody else says anything, let me get that." And then he ended up getting it to me, and ended up sitting next to Cassidy from BodySlam.net, who's going to be joining you tomorrow for BD Elite. So kind of ironic that two guys that you're doing shows with this week were sitting next to each other. But it was a fun show. I mean, it wasn't like the best show ever, but just the experience, just being in Hammerstein, just felt so cool, and just seeing all the surprises. And shout out to Sean Waltman, X-Pac, always pops me. But yeah, it was a fun show overall. I probably wouldn't like go out of state to go watch GCW, but if they come back over here to New York, I wouldn't mind, watching another show or two.
Yeah, you know what? It looked like a lot of fun. I think doing a show at the Hammerstein just sounds fun. I've been there for a concert once. I've never seen wrestling there, but it looks like a fun wrestling venue. And I thought that there was a lot of weird expectations that people put on GCW, and me and Davey watched it the other night. We ordered the pay-per-view, and it was fun. It was what we expected. Like, it had silliness, it had some craziness. That Destroyer in that lucha match, I don't know what that was. That was insane.
Yeah, that match definitely stole the show. After that, it was kind of like everything kind of, what kind of like deflated the crowd was, I know I mentioned this earlier on the show I did with John Pollock, but it was like all the GCW guys were losing, like Alley Catch and Effie and Joey Janela, so it kind of like deflated the crowd a little bit because a lot of people came there to see them. So it's like their hometown heroes are losing to like AEW guys. Like it was kind of with Jeff Jarrett, so it felt weird. Like I feel like that kind of like dampened the crowd, and then by the time the main event came out, like everybody was there for the Nick Gage entrance because people weren't even sure if he was going to be there, and that whole match was just an entrance, and the match itself was literally nothing. It was like 5 minutes and that's it. But people just cared about Nick Gage at that point. Nobody cared about the actual match, but I feel like the crowd was a little low up until Nick came out.
Yeah, I was I guess it was because we were having a few goodbye drinks for Davey, but we were like, man, is some big team going to come out? Is it FTR? Is it the Hardy Boys? But then it totally did make sense with having Nick Gage and such. But yeah, that was cool. I also liked seeing Trey Baxter, formerly in NXT. He was one of the cuts, but now he's back to, what is his thing? Because we have a Rebel Heart, but he's the All Heart.
He's all heart. Blake Christian. Yeah, it was good to see him there. That was kind of like a last minute. I was actually a little bummed because I didn't want to see Jonathan Gresham. I don't think I've ever seen him live. I could be wrong about that. So I was kind of looking forward to seeing Gresham and Christian. But Leo Rush was the replacement. I had a little like before the show. I kind of got tipped off that like the main event was going to be Briscoes and the show was going to end at 11. So I expected somebody big too. I'm like, hey, if the Briscoes are going to come out last, like it's got to be a big team. So I didn't think it was going to be FTR because I'm like, I don't disrespect to them. I don't think they're main event like level like for Hammer Hammerstein. So of course I had to be Nick Gage. And then like I knew the show was gonna end at 11 on the dot. So like by the time the match started, it was like, you know what, 10:50, and I'm just like, this match isn't gonna go long. And then unfortunately it didn't, and that kind of, you know, dampened the mood a little bit. But yeah, I was hoping for some crazy team as well. But it makes sense at the end of the day. It's a GCW show. Have somebody at least from GCW win, and that ended up being Matt Tremont, who I think I guessed on one of these trivia shows or something. I don't know. I said something about Matt Tremont somewhere, and Nick Gage. So it was good to see them, I guess, if you're a big GCW fan.
I felt like ECW, where you would bring in your Sandman and your Tommy Dreamer to join forces, and they're just, yeah, it felt good. It was awkwardly cut off. I think there was a whole match that got cut, and that was the main event. You know they were going to get violent and bloody, so they definitely got to run that one back. But I thought the Matt Cardona Janela match was just absolutely ridiculous, and I loved every second of it. So silly, but so good. And yeah, Sean Waltman. So that was, and he came out to Run DMC version.
Yeah,
King of
that was
Rock
great. And after that, I want to see X-Pac show up in the Royal Rumble. You know, and on that topic, Rumble, you know, who do you want to see in the Rumble? Any big surprises that you're expecting?
Yeah. I think are we getting Papa Shango? Is that confirmed?
Yeah, Wade Barrett kind of teased that, right? Papa Shango.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll let see an X-Pac show.
All right.
Yeah.
X-Pac, I guess it won't be Road Dogg, or no Billy Gunn either.
Well, somebody's on the women's side, it looks like somebody's makeup artist kind of spoiled the fact that they're going to be in St. Louis on Saturday, and they only do makeup for one Rowdy Ronda person, so that kind of got spoiled a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what actually is going to happen. That's quite interesting. I know they're doing 2 nights of WrestleMania, so hopefully you can do some sort of. What's the match that we go to? Becky versus Ronda? I really don't know what now, because the character's kind of changed. She's the heel now, so wouldn't you think Ronda would be the heel unless she gets cheered? But that would be weird. I'm not like totally against it, but I'm not saying it's. I mean, I want Summer Rae to win because she's a WWE legend, and she should win.
Yeah. If Ronda comes out, I feel like it's a given she has to win, unless like somebody like Shayna Baszler like eliminates her or something. They set up that match that maybe they both won at WrestleMania or something. But yeah, if she wins, she's gonna have to face like Becky or Charlotte, right? Like who else is she gonna wrestle? And that's a rematch from the triple threat they had a couple years ago. So I feel like if she's in it, she kind of has to win unless like some crazy thing happens and she gets eliminated. Maybe she doesn't even appear in the Rumble. Maybe she shows up after and points to the WrestleMania sound like she did in Philly a couple years ago.
Point. Hey, I didn't win the Rumble. Asuka did, but I'm just here to point WrestleMania. Yeah, you know what? Maybe like Lita is gonna be in it. I would be so down for a Lita run. Love her theme song.
Yeah, it's like they teased that Lita Charlotte match, and I feel like with them going to Saudi Arabia in February, which is like the only show in between Mania and Rumble, I feel like they want a big attraction match, and I can see Charlotte and Lita possibly being in Saudi.
Are they still calling it Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, last I checked, it's Elimination Chamber from the Super whatever they call it in Jeddah. It's the first dome arena with no columns or whatever the hell they're promoting. So yeah.
Okay, what about Rhea Ripley winning the Royal Rumble for the women's? If it's not Ronda, I could see that as well. Big challenger for. I think you're gonna get Charlotte and Lita down the line, but what about the men's side? Like, does Big E get some retribution? Does Brock lose and then enter the Rumble and win it? Like, I see WWE doing WWE stuff like that. So
yeah, I can, like, in my head I'm thinking Bobby beats Brock, and then Brock shows up in the Rumble and wins it, and it'll be Brock and Roman, and then Bobby can defend against Big E. That would be my 2 matches for Mania.
Yeah, and they got 2 nights they'll do. And then, I mean, hey, while we're on the topic of WrestleMania, we got to talk about NXT Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, we gotta. Hopefully, I'll wake up early enough to watch it. Right?
Okay, so they announced there's 2 nights of WrestleMania. There's a Smackdown on Friday. They added the Hall of Fame after Smackdown.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, which at nighttime is night 1 of WrestleMania, they're doing a NXT show at noon?
Yeah, I mean, it should be noted that none of this stuff is official. It's just like reports, supposedly, but that's what the word is. But first of all, the Hall of Fame after SmackDown is terrible. Like at 10 o'clock, like those things go like 3-4 hours. Who's going to stay up like for 4 hours to watch the Hall of Fame? And then yeah, we're gonna have brunch with NXT, which is just really weird. I don't know if it's gonna be live at that time. It's weird because usually like WrestleMania weekends, there's shows that early that you would go to, but not like a show like NXT. You would think, unless they just don't really give an f about it and they're just gonna put it on anyway. But so yeah, Stand and Deliver. It's not a takeover, but I feel like they need to have a big attraction. They gotta have like bring in like Io Shirai versus Sasha if she's healthy, or Sasha versus Michael Satomura, or Gunther versus Braun Breaker. You gotta have like that really big like attraction if they want to bring in like that usual WrestleMania crowd. I'm not sure what else is going on that Saturday, but if they really want to bring in like your casual wrestling fan, not even casual, like your hardcore wrestling fan, you're gonna want to have like that big match. You're bringing in somebody like a Dragunov, Sakamura from NXT UK just to have like a dream match. You got to definitely have those dream match scenarios in order to even bring people in. Because I'm sorry, but like Tony D'Angelo is not gonna bring anybody in. I don't think.
Don't disrespect the Italian Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because if this is a true report, that means they're going to do this show during the day on the Saturday, which is so quite possibly we'll have lunch with the BDE at some capacity on that day. But yeah, that's such a strange move. But at least they're finally moving out of the CWC. At least it's something positive. They're leaning towards a big show, essentially. And they've also announced another show. Well, they actually have announced this show, which is Vengeance Day, which is going to be another one of the TV Tuesday specials on February 15th. So it's like Valentine's Day. It's very, Shawn Michaels-esque logo.
Yeah, it's got like a heartbreak logo. And I heard a report today that NXT is very high on Shawn Michaels, whatever that means. Like, yeah, like, wouldn't you be? But I guess like they're trying to imply that like they have no plans of like letting him go or whatever. But yeah, it should be interesting because I'm pretty sure last year this was like not a takeover, but it was on Peacock, right? It wasn't like a regular Tuesday show. It was like on a Saturday or Sunday, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was a TV special or a special.
I'm pretty sure. I feel like it was on Peacock, if I'm not mistaken. But going back to the Mania show for 1 second, like they haven't announced the arena for it, but I remember when I went to Dallas for WrestleMania a couple years ago, they had like this like ranch that they had wrestling shows at. It was like next to like this like barbecue spot that was amazing, and we saw a couple shows there like Evolve and a couple other programs. It was like literally like a ranch. It was crazy. So I would love to see like NXT totally like do this whole like gimmick thing and have like a ranch themed show or something, just something different to make it. Don't take an arena and make it look exactly like the CWC. Do something totally wacky. You might as well go for it.
Stand and Deliver. Like, where do you do? Yeah, do you want an outside during the day ranch?
That would be crazy. Hey, bring back the hog pen match. Do something wild. Why not?
Who would even be in the hog pen match?
Triple H at this point
versus Shawn, and the winner keeps NXT.
Oh my God, that's gonna happen. Triple H's write-off is gonna be a hog pen match, isn't it?
Look, we got rid of Triple H and we're bringing in Shawn Fulton. Shawn's the new Triple H now. He's stealing the push. Damn, yeah. So I could see them doing that. And you know what? I'm not super against the time. It kind of is weird and different, but hey, maybe people in different parts of the world would appreciate that there's something in the day. But yeah, I'm always excited for the Royal Rumble. We're not going to be doing a watch along, but if you are a patron, you are invited to our Rumble tailgate, which is going to happen on Saturday. I know the Rumble, starts at actually 8 p.m. is when the show starts?
8 p.m., yep.
Yeah, so I think at like 5 p.m. Eastern time, that is, we're going to do a bit of a tailgate. So come hang out for that and get ready for the Rumble. Because I think it's the most fun event of the year. I'm having a few people over, going to watch and probably play some Rumble pools and stuff. So shout out all the Rumble pools going on out there. I'm definitely going to be in one or two with you, Siino, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't even care who wins. It makes it more fun when you have stakes on who you want to win the Rumble. So,
yeah, it's one of those years. It's one of those years where I honestly can't pick a winner, and anybody could win. Like the year that I've only been to one Rumble. That was 2018 in Philly, and that's the year that like Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura won, and like nobody picked them. That was like totally out of left field. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe this year they do the same thing, and somebody you're not even thinking of might just win the Rumble just for the hell of it. But I really can't like pick Brock is like my sure bet, but I can't be for sure like guaranteed that's who's gonna win, like I usually am.
About Johnny Gargano, he shows up at Beach Break and then he shows up in the Rumble.
Hey, if anybody can do it, he can do it. Why not? Just do a one-off beach break match, and then show up in the Rumble. Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
I think we
John
could see a
Moxley, you
few.
know?
Yeah, I think we could see.
They've
Yeah, like NXT people. I think we might get a few in the Rumble. I think we might get Braun Breaker. I think we might get Gunther. I think we might get a few other, maybe Mandy Rose.
Yeah, I could definitely see like they're using a lot of these people like on SmackDown and main event, like LA Knight, Roderick Strong, Io Shirai,
True.
yeah, Braun Breaker, Ciampa. I can definitely see them like popping up in it. I can definitely see some NXT UK people pop in. I can see people that like a Zack Ryder, like random people that just aren't signed anywhere that they could show up. I was joking about Moxley, obviously, but they mentioned him a couple times on SmackDown. You know, Pat McAfee mentioned him, and also Rollins on commentary. And speaking of McAfee, I can see him showing up in it if they don't have enough bodies. You know, let's just say something happens like COVID hits and people can't be in the Rumble. Throw in a Pat McAfee, throw in a Corey Graves. You know, these always bring your gear, right? Have these guys pop in the Rumble. You never know.
Yeah, I could see some surprises. I hope we don't just get like the same old ones. I do like getting popped. I like when they get us with cool reactions and callbacks and stuff. But yeah, that'll be super fun. That's not the only Rumble though. We do gotta promote some things because we have our own Rumble and it's happening this Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Twitch, twitch.tv/upnextpodcast. Yes, every Tuesday we go live 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time, talking about NXT like we are right now. Wednesdays we do the same with BD Elite, and I put the podcast on this free feed as well for you podcast listeners for all the Dynamite chat. But Sunday, Royal Rumble, the Up Next Rumble is happening. Last year, I don't know how we pulled it off. Shout out DVP. But we had 30 entrants in a Twitch trivia game, and one winner, Chris Elliott, won the first one. This year, it's bigger, it's badder. Hey, I'm in it this time. There's a potential that, you know, I could win it and go on to Up Next Mania and redeem myself against Fire Frank. There's so many people in this game, and well, there might be a few surprises or two, but that's all I can say. But yes,
Well, you know who's not you know who's not going to be in it this year? Me, because I freaking have to work and I'm pissed off as hell. I haven't like wished for snow in so long, but like supposedly there's snow this weekend. And I'm like hoping that my job like shuts down on Sunday just so I can like be in it, but it doesn't look like it unfortunately. I was able to at least switch shifts and watch the Rumble itself on Saturday, but Sunday's a no go. So I'm a little upset about that, but I'll try to at least tune in. You know, on Twitch on my phone, I'll pull it up because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be dead that day anyway. But yeah, so I have to pick somebody who to win now. I can't pick myself, so I got to pick somebody that faces Fire Frank. So I don't know. There's a lot of announcements were made today. You know, I heard Chris Elliott, Chris Leone, Neil, Anne Marie. There's a couple of big announcements today on the Twitter, and I'm pretty sure you'll be seeing some more announcements coming in the next couple days.
Yeah, I would say that, you know, Fire Frank and you are actually shoot friends in real life. You're close, and you being in the Rumble would definitely make things interesting. And it's quite unfortunate that you're not. But whoever steps up definitely can take out Fire Frank at Up Next Mania. It's going to be a lot. And shout out Dickie Bird because he's putting all these videos together. He's actually, people on Twitter are like confused because it looks exactly like the WWE's entrance videos, and that's how good he is. He's also helping us tonight on the Twitch, so shout out Dickie Bird because he is amazing. Damn, this guy is incredible. They look exactly like the WWE. Like he's got it down to. He will be working for a Fed. Yo, at GCW, hire this fucking guy. I know their videos are pretty sweet too, but this guy is amazing. So shout out Dickie Bird. And yeah, you got to join. You got to join in on the fun. If you are not in the Rumble, there's always next year. We did reach out to some of our patrons and again some special guests, and it's happening on Sunday. It's gonna be insane. I'm gonna be there. Me and Davey will be hosting it / be in it. Always bring your gear, so get ready. The replay will be available. We'll try to get the pod version and keep it up on the Twitch and the YouTube. However, it is really fun to have an audience because you guys can help things and interact and stuff. But yeah, I hope to see you guys there because it's always a blast. So at Up Next Podcast on Twitter for all the updates, and join that Facebook group if you haven't. And I swear, last plug is patreon.com/upnext because we have so many podcasts coming out, but we just recorded a Ninja Turtles review with Davey and myself and Fire Frank. We also just recorded, it's coming out in a few days, upYOURS Rumble winner last year. Chris Elliott has actually picked a Royal Rumble 2000, We're going to talk all about it. The Miss Rumble contest. I know you were a big fan of that, Sino.
Oh yeah, of
In the
course.
day.
My childhood.
It's a classic. 5-star segment. Yeah. Learned a lot. But also Cactus Jack, Triple H, the Rumble, all that stuff. We reviewed that in full, and that's a crazy show because it's like, what, 22 years ago?
Yeah, it was like 22 years ago to the day,
Insane.
just the other day. Yeah, and I'm hoping somebody, like, I was a young child at the time. I was like 15 years old watching that. And I hope that today there's a 15-year-old that was able to watch NXT and get that same feeling that I got back in 2000.
Wow. Yeah, I mean they might just show up on this episode, but you know, you never know who'll show up at any of the Up Next Rumbles. So I have to throw that tease out there as well. But yeah, let's talk about some NXT. I know it's your favorite show to watch, Sino, because you watch everything Shot in the Dark on this feed as well. So I mean, what's going on with you and your watching habits? Because you literally are a wrestling completist. Watch everything. What's going through your mind without a 15-minute restraint on you, good sir?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I usually like kind of stop watching NXT live only because I depending on my work schedule, I try to get the bulk of my watching like Tuesdays afternoon or nights. So I usually like do all that and kind of save NXT for the morning. But yeah, this week I was able to kind of like stay on track and everything. Well, luckily a lot of these shows are pretty shorter now than usual, so that's a plus for me. But yeah, 205 Live, I'm watching all these NXT people before you guys get to see them. So that's always cool. And then AEW Dark is doing their thing. So yeah, just the usual stuff. Nothing really crazy has been happening on the Shot in the Dark world, I guess, in all these shows. But it's always cool to see some like fresh faces show up.
Yeah, that's true. You get to see sneak peeks of people before we do. I don't know why they just changed the name to something else, like NXT Light or whatever. I don't even know what Evolve.
Yeah, I have to watch
Evolve.
these shows. I have to watch these shows when they show up on NXT and you ask me who the hell is this person, I can give you an answer.
You do that, and it's very helpful. Sometimes it's people I've seen like 15 times, and I still don't remember who they are. Some of them are on this show, and there are new fresh faces. I mean, someone did not stop at 205 Live. They came right to our main roster, and that's OllieJayy. OllieJayy is gonna save NXT here tonight, maybe, kinda. Let's talk about NXT. OllieJayy all day, yeah. OllieJayy. NXT from NXT from Tuesday, January 25th, 2022. We start off with some recaps of what's going on here in NXT, including the Dusty Classic. The tournament is continuing here, and it says the finals of the men's tournament will end at Vengeance Day. So the finals of the tag tournament is going to take place on this special Tuesday event. And we start off with a match from the Dusty Classic. MSK versus Jacket Time. Some say this is a rematch, a dream match of sorts. Both character, I feel like MSK are trying to aim towards the stoner audience when Jacket Time has inadvertently snuck up and stolen that spot because their music is ridiculous. It's like got the jacket and then it's got the time and it's Jacket Time.
And they tell you who's in the tag team, right? Every 2 seconds. Kushida, Kim and Jiro. Yeah. And
wow.
Jiro with his nice jacket this week with the clocks on it, like all these different types of clocks. Like he went full out for this match.
Yeah, I mean he loves his jackets. He wears them in the match if you aren't aware, and then he also punches you with jacket punches as well. But he's got the clocks all over his jacket here tonight for Jacket Time. However, MSK actually start off with a little bit of a promo where they're walking down. They're about to touch the Dusty Cup, but it says, or is it Nash that says, no, don't touch it. Don't touch the cup. Bad things happen when you touch the cup.
Yeah, are you seeing more into? Because this is the second week in a row now that like they've been teasing like some bad luck or who was it last week? Who was it? I think it was Dakota Kai. It was like something bad can happen to people in this tournament. So I feel like they've been teasing us for like a couple weeks now. So I wonder if they're actually gonna do something with these two. Like I can't see them breaking them up because I feel like that's bad for both of them. But they've definitely been teasing some sort of like bad luck or bad omen on this team.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's also, isn't it like the Stanley Cup, any cup in sports, you're not supposed to touch it or else you're not going to win it kind of thing?
That's
It'd be
true.
funny if there's also the Drake curse. If he wears your team's jersey, you don't win.
Right, I've heard of that.
Minus the 2019 Raptors year. But other than that, yeah. So MSK versus Jacket Time. We get MSK kind of running the ropes with Jiro here. They go for this double team where it's kind of like Colt Cabana's Chicago skyline. Or no, sorry, is it the Superman? The Superman pin? But he kind of misses it and then tries to retrace his steps for the kick out by Jiro. But it was a little weird. There's then a double bulldog from Jacket Time to West. Carter comes in. He hits a series of strikes. And then the Bronco Buster on Jiro in the corner. There's then Jiro fighting back with jacket punches. That's when he grabs the part of his jacket and then hits you while holding onto his jacket. They go to picture in picture while Kushida is now in, and he's hitting a series of moves on Wes. There's lariats and sunset flips, PKs, the handstand drop kick. When we come back, there's Carter who finally tags in, hits a German suplex, and then a standing star press on Kushida, which was pretty high up there. It looked cool. There's then Jiro who's in with I want to call it the jacket bomb. It's the bastard driver, but it's the jacket driver, the jacket bastard driver.
Jacket driver.
A near fall. It's broken up. Carter hits this like high knee kind of V-trigger move on Kushida, and then they go for the hot fire flame, but Kushida scouts it with knees up, turns it into the hoverboard lock, but they get him out of it, and then they throw Jiro out and hit the heart attack blockbuster combo on Kushida, and MSK advance in the Dusty Cup. But what did you think of the match?
This match was freaking awesome. I love this match. There's a couple like missed opportunity spots or whatever, but like that counter that Kushida had into the hoverlock was amazing. The finisher, the blockbuster was great. I feel like it was like nonstop this whole match. The crowd was really into it. They're not booing MSK anymore, so I'm not sure if that's like they finally won the crowd over, or if maybe the couple bad seeds that were booing them are finally had enough of this and left to go see AEW or something. But I think this match was definitely great, and I can't wait. Like are we gonna get a repeat of last year's finals? Like I don't know at this point.
Yeah, so they advanced. They're definitely the team, I think, maybe winning it and going up against Imperium for that big rematch. But there is, obviously, we want to get to Creed Brothers versus Imperium. So there is a few different ways. What are the brackets? Because can MSK match up with who? Creed Bros or Grizzled Young Vets? Or
yeah, I'm trying to see if I can pull it up right now really quick. So it looks like we have MSK now. They're going to face off against Idris Inoue and Malik Blade, and you have the Creed Brothers against Grizzled Young Vets. So you can have either a rematch of last year, which is MSK against Grizzled Young Vets, or MSK versus Creed Brothers in the finals. I don't think Inoue and Malik Blade are gonna beat MSK. Well, unfortunately, we'll get into that later. What happens if they do win? But I think we might. I'm gonna go with MSK and Creed Brothers. I think that's gonna be the finals, and then I guess we're gonna get that match at the Vengeance Day. So I don't know. I kind of want to see Creed Brothers against Imperium. I feel like, but like they already
sound good.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna talk about it later, but they're already teasing like a 6-man between them. So I don't know if they want to like go back to that, like kind of backwards into a tag match. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, but I agree. I thought this match was awesome. I actually expected to, like these four are actually pretty good. I know Jiro's not everyone's cup of tea. I don't even know if he's mine, but he's funny and he can actually wrestle. But I thought this is pretty good. MSK definitely continue to grow on me. In the ring, I mean, they've kind of always had it for quite a while. It's still some of the awkward forced comedy that I'm like a little, but I'm happy that they're not booing. Izzy's dad, maybe he's not there anymore, so it's okay. But yeah, match, great. It definitely put me in a good mood for the show. I loved the high flying stuff. We go to Zoe. Yes.
Real quick, shout out to Nash Carter's Toy Story alien tattoo. I noticed he had that on his arm.
Yeah, take me to your leader. What is it? The claw?
Claw, yeah. He should do the claw. That should be one of his moves.
Yeah, the Toy Story claw. Zoe and Io are backstage, and well, Zoe says I wrote Zoe Deschanel, and now I messed up what her actual
Zoe Stark.
Zoe Stark. Wow, definitely not Zoe Deschanel. But that would be a pretty cool tag team as well. Io Shirai and Zoe Deschanel.
Yeah.
Dream team. Yeah, 500 days of Io. Zoe Stark is backstage with Io Shirai, and Io Shirai is in a great red and black like fur coat thing. Zoe says, hey, I'm still injured and I'm not going to be ready for the Dusty Cup, so you need to find yourself a new partner. And Io's like a little upset by this. She's like, a new partner? I don't want to find a new partner. And Zoe is taken aback and says, oh, so you do like me as your partner? And Io's like, I don't know about that. And they're interrupted by Tiffany Stratton. MG, what are you wearing? To Zoe. Did you find that off the clearance rack? And then looks at Io and says, Io, you'll have time to find a partner after I beat you tonight. Toodles. And then walks off. But yeah, OMG. Good stuff.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to be Io's partner?
It should be Tiffany. Tiffany and Io. Io can teach Tiffany, you know,
it could
how
be
to fight with trash cans.
It could be the new Shirai, who Io kind of helps transform into her new super Shirai form, whatever the hell they want to do with that.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be a couple people. You know, Asuka hasn't been seen in a while. Maybe she wants to come down to NXT. I know a Mr. Davey Portman, who's currently in the air right now, would love it for Kairi Sane to come back. I don't know. There's a lot of choices. Because, you know, wasn't there like that one year where they brought back Alex Shelley for like the tournament where he teamed up with Kushida? So I can see like somebody coming in just for the tournament. So something like a Kairi Sane, hey, who knows? Maybe she bring her in just for a couple matches and then, you know, never see her again.
Shout out Alex Shelley, because I know he's doing like an indie run right now. He's doing a bunch of shows. I think he's even coming up to a show in Ontario, somewhere to Toronto. So shout out. I would love to see him show up in a few different shows. Yeah, remember we had the Time Splitters. That would have been cool to see that again. But we have Jacket Time, and you know that's good too. Yeah. Well, Tiffany's gonna face Io later tonight, but go to a video for Cameron Grimes, and for Carmelo Hayes and Trick that he's talking to, because he says he wants to take that North American title from him, but he's got to go through Tony. He says, you got your boys, well, I got my boys too, and he's talking about Benji, and Francis. But Cameron Grimes is going to face Tony D'Angelo tonight in our main event, and the winner gets a shot at the title. Then we go to the main event, which is Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams are seen exiting a car, entering the arena here tonight with a friend of theirs, OllieJayy.
That wasn't Shawn Michaels, because I noticed right away. I didn't see anything at first except her gear, her pants, and it had like the white and red pants. So I thought it was Shawn Michaels. I didn't get a chance to look up at her face. So yeah, wow. So that was OllieJayy. Nice.
I mean, you thought it was Shawn Michaels because her gear was it was white pants with the Heartbreak Kid like logo all over it.
Yeah, that's all I got a chance to see. I didn't get a chance to see anything else on her that stood out.
Well, don't worry, she's gonna perform later, so we'll get to talk.
Okay.
Yeah, you did get to see it eventually.
Yeah. I eventually, I mean, I was, you know, I wasn't really preoccupied with looking at her, but yeah, I did get to see her later.
The show stealer OllieJayy is going to perform later. She's an artist, R&B, hip hop artist. But clearly she's a big fan of Shawn. OllieJayy is high on Shawn Michaels. And that's why she's rocking the HBK gear here tonight. But wow, more on OllieJayy later tonight. We go to Santos from Legado del Fantasma. He says that Braun Breaker, he's in the middle of the ring with Legado and Elektra, who's still on his side. Santos says that Braun is fake. And he basically had to do nothing. He got everything from his father just from the start. And he says, my father, I had similar upbringings, but you and your family don't impress me, and you don't intimidate you, because Braun, I despise you. Look how fast you got here, and you've been given all these opportunities. I despise you because you won the NXT title before me. You've been here for a handful of months. You make me sick. Out comes Braun. He's ready. He's jacked. He gets in the ring and says, hey, Santos, I think you're great, but you're insecure. That's why you hang around with friends who got your back. And says, my family taught me to handle my business right away. And then what does he yell at him?
He says, cállate, which is like shut up in Spanish, which is hilarious. The way just coming out of Braun Breaker's mouth. Cállate. I was dying at that.
It made me laugh. And he scares Santos, and he says, Shut up, I'm talking. The champ, never interrupt the champ. And Santos says, no, listen here, young champ. Things are done on my time. And when I'm ready to face you, you'll know. And then they pretend to leave, but the boys attack him, and Bron beats them up and sends them packing, and then stands tall. But yeah, clearly we're setting up for Santos and Bron.
Yeah, it's got to happen at Vengeance Day, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's our big NXT title match. I don't see Santos winning, but hey, good for Santos. And I like the bit about the promo. Like, hey, you've been here barely any time, and you've already won the title. Upset, I'm jealous. I want
like
that.
the fact they both had fathers that wrestled, and you kind of try to compare his family to Breaker's family. It was a cool little promo.
Yeah, I mean, we got Rick is Braun's dad, and we got a Phantom is
Phantasma.
Santos' dad.
Yep.
Yeah, Phantasma. So we'll get a match announcement for that a little bit later on. We go to a video for Boa. That's right, a Boa versus Solo Sikoa video, and it's showing the highlight of this feud, which is the fireballs to the face from Boa to Solo, who's then had scarring on his face from this fireball. And well, this is like kind of the rubber match here. It's all gonna come to a Falls Count Anywhere, no DQ match. Boa versus Solo Sikoa. I feel like that's a haiku or something. It rhymes and feels nice. So this time it's Boa who comes out with the face paint on. If you've been following, he's pretty much like the Finn Balor demon. He's more stronger when he's got the Mei Ying spirit possessing him, and it's the face paint. But Solo shows up with makeup on his face. Not just the fake scars from the fireball, but he's got some face paint on the other side.
Yep.
For one of his ooses. It looked to me like a nice shout out to Umaga.
Yes, for sure.
Right, it had the whole thing there. I love Umaga. Shout out Umaga.
His uncle.
Solo, yeah, it's his uncle, right?
Yep.
That has to be. Yeah, great. Solo Sikoa should be in the Royal Rumble.
Well, it's funny because this coming Rumble, there's a stipulation with the Roman and Seth Rollins match that the Usos are banned from ringside, but doesn't mean Solo Sikoa's banned from ringside. So hey, I wouldn't be surprised if they just call this guy up right away and put him with this bloodline. Have him pissed off at the Usos for being abandoned at 15 years old.
Left me in the streets. Left in the streets. They left him. Yeah, I love the face paint. So this is going to be a war. I actually kind of liked the last time they fought, and even the fire was ridiculous, but it was entertaining. So here comes Solo out for his entrance, but he's attacked by Boa with these kendo sticks, and man, he is whacking him with them. Like, his back is getting red. There's like scarring up here. They then talk about the other scars, the red face paint on him, like the burn marks. They're like, he's still burned. But then I'm looking at Solo's back as it's really red. We get knee strikes from Boa, and then his butterfly suplex onto like a trash can for a near fall. They start to brawl around the ring outside. They go to the backstage area. It's like, here comes the pain. There's ladders. They're throwing that at each other. There's garage doors. They're slamming each other against it. Boa is beating Solo's head against this one door and then throws him through this other door, and the door opens, so Solo like disappears. So Boa goes to open the door to go out and follow him, but the door won't open. And then it shows a camera outside that Solo's blocking the door. So now Boa is going to open the garage door, and he's pulling on these chains. He's there for a while. This looked not as easy as maybe he thought it was going to be. He does at least 4 of these pulling the chain down. So it's taking quite a while, which perfectly sets up for when it finally is open. He sticks his head out to go outside and is welcomed by Solo, the fire extinguisher in the face. Then they brawl back towards the ring, and then there was these chairs that were set up, and Solo throws Boa through all the corners and the chairs, then sets Boa up on a table on the outside, and then off the top rope to the outside hits the splash, the Uso splash, through Boa, through the table. 1, 2, 3. Solo Sikoa wins in quite another entertaining match, I thought, on NXT.
Yeah, Yeah, it was fun. Just like you said, it reminded you of like one of the video game like backstage brawl things. I don't know if that like garage door was like bent out of shape or whatever, but I've pulled on those doors before working like in some stores, and it shouldn't be that difficult. So I'm not sure why Boa had so much issues. Like he really was like tugging on it. I'm like, what's going on here? But the match was fun. I did notice a couple things, like the commentary table was moved. Like the setup was a little bit different now. Like they have the commentary table now like opposite of the hard camera. So they did move that. The ropes were blue. I don't know if you guys noticed that last week, but they changed the ropes to blue now. There's a couple of things I've noticed that they've been, messing around with in NXT now. They took away everything else from Triple H. They had to take away Poppy and the yellow ropes as well. Like, geez, you can't have this guy have anything. But the match was fun. I enjoyed it. Saying their names, Bolo and Solo, made me think of like a tag team, like Boa and Solo, like Bolo, Sikoa. And that reminds me, we must talk about what happened on SmackDown with a certain Xia Li coming to the saving of a Miss Aaliyah. Hashtag Xia Leah. I think it's finally going down. We finally did it, huh?
He fucking did it, guys. If you've listened to this show, we've on NXT, we've been talking about this tag team that needs to happen. Xia Li and Aaliyah have finally, what it seems, have joined forces. They're now Xia Li. I mean, usually when we lose people from NXT to the main roster, we pour one out. Lately, it's if someone gets released, we've been pouring them out. But now, Xia Li, I don't want to pour one out, but salute.
Yeah, pour one in. Pour one in for these. Yeah,
pour one in for Xia Li because wow, they're probably going to be the greatest tag team in recent, like already. I mean, Aaliyah's on a run. She's got a Guinness World Record now. We got Xia Li, who was kicking some ass in the last little while, so I'm excited. I might what show is this? Is this SmackDown?
On SmackDown, yeah. And actually, Io Shirai is rumored to be on SmackDown as well. I'm not sure if it's for a dark match or what. But I think SmackDown is going to be a must-watch this week.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, hey, maybe do I have to watch SmackDown? Well, I'll tell you, if Io Shirai shows up, I just might. Io should be in the Royal Rumble this Sunday.
I think she's going to be, yeah.
Yeah, guys, we did it. Xia Li and Aaliyah. Xia Li.
Aaliyah.
Rock the boat. That's it. We did it. We go to a video for Duke Hudson. He's going to have a match next. But we go to Imperium, which, I forgot to say, I thought the last match with Boa and Solo was pretty fun as well. And it did have the video game feel, but I am getting super into kind of Solo. He definitely is coming into his own. But Boa is like, he can still do some cool moves, but it's just a weird.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I was doing a little bit of research on Solo just like the other day, and I totally forgot that he was actually like at one point scouted by AEW. He put up like a tweet saying, like looking at the logo and I'm gonna do this and do that. And then last thing we saw was Cody Rhodes respond to him saying, hey, we gotta have a talk. And then he went to NXT instead. So I'm not sure how that talk went with Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa, but they obviously had interest in him. That didn't work out.
He was like, "Hey, we already have a Solo."
You think Cody started talking about like just like random stuff and Solo just got up and left?
Cody's like, "Well, listen, a few years ago there was a guy who did a pipe bomb." No, that's tomorrow's show. Wow, that promo was divided some people. Some people loved it and some people did not. But interesting. Solo Sikoa, good stuff. Duke Hudson's next. Imperium video. It's our friend and it's my friend and yours. It's Gunther.
Gunther.
He says the same goes on and on. He says, I'm known all over the world. But it's the name my parents gave me. This patriarchy of my family and his name. And he says, my grandfather who introduced me to this great sport. It's time to leave the past behind. Guide Imperium to the future. Start my own identity. Dawn of a new Imperium. The whole new age. The ring general. Gunther. Are we like, we're just like, all right, whatever. As long as we get to see Walter, okay, cool. But don't expect me not to say Walter all the time.
Yeah, I mean, they try to have some explanation for it, like have Gunther or Walter himself, like, I don't know. It just didn't really work. As long as he stays the same, like, don't change the music, don't change his ring gear, don't change his style. whatever. The name's gonna be the name. He tried to explain it like, he wants to start a new. He didn't even say what Gunther actually means, which is like warrior. I think he could have said that in there just so kind of like at least we know what the hell it means instead of being just a random German sounding name. But yeah, like I said, as long as he stays the same, whatever. I understand, they want to copyright his name and whatever the case is, but they should have did this a long time ago. They should have did it when they brought him in. So it's kind of like we've seen this guy. So at least in storyline reference, he's trying to explain himself why he changed it, which we usually don't get that in wrestling. Usually it's like, here's your new name and that's it. So at least they're trying to have him explain that he changed it. It's not gonna make things better, but it's something, I guess. Some storyline reason for it.
In the end, it is just a name, and we were so over the moon last week, just being like, oh, again they're doing this stupid shit. Like, why do you have to change it if it's already his thing? And his real name is Walter. I mean, it's not the most menacing name ever. In fact, when you first hear it, you're like, oh, that sucks, and then you watch him, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. So that's definitely why I'm like, whatever. Like, the name is a name. I hate so many of the names in WWE, so I guess we get over it.
But like Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, those are their real names. They never change their names. So it's like I don't understand why some people they do it and some people they don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I don't know. Maybe they have bigger plans for him.
Yeah, like Pete Dunne. I'm pretty sure that's his name.
Ironically, Pete Dunne's real name is Pete England. Believe it or not.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure Adam Cole's is a fake name too, and he got to keep his name.
Yeah. That's his name is like Austin Jenkins or something? Like it's Austin something, yeah.
Same with Roderick Strong. I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't know. There's probably all these guys with different names. It's just weird. It's not the best wrestling name. No, Walter wasn't either, but he's already been that for years, so it's just strange. But I'm like, whatever. It's kind of a stupid way to say, hey, this is my new name, but you're kind of right. They never really do that, so sure. I don't know. Just sure. If this means I get to watch this guy wrestle all the time, sure. If it means he's going to fight Bron at this stand and deliver thing, cool. Let's do it. Let's go. We go to, our next match, Duke Hudson, who's in the ring with Guru Raj, and they're going to have a match. The bell rings, and Duke runs at him with a boot to the face, just mounts him with these strikes, and then hits a razor's edge. 1, 2, 3. Duke Hudson wins the match. Pretty quick. Nothing really happened. I guess what happens here is Dante Chen, he comes out with a microphone and a nice shirt and says, hey, Duke, I'm giving you the respect you didn't give me. Here I come. And then he runs to the ring and attacks him, and they start to brawl, and Duke kind of attacks the injured leg that Dante had when he came back from this, but setting up this feud, again, kind of from last week.
Yeah, so like Duke Hudson, he had a little bit more serious look. He didn't have his flashy vest or whatever. He still had like the poker graphics. I don't know if they just didn't update it or not, but I feel like they're gonna move away from this character. But he's just like a more generic character, I guess now. He doesn't really, I don't know what he's gonna become. Maybe he's just gonna be Duke Hudson. But this is cool. Him and Dante Chen having a little program, I think will be pretty fun.
I'm happy that the guy is moving away from the poker stuff. His Titantron and stuff is still poker room, but he doesn't look like it anymore. He just looks like Trent Beretta. Just Duke Beretta.
Yeah. A little bigger Trent Beretta, yeah.
Well, there's someone else has some thoughts on Duke Hudson's new look, because we go backstage to Indi and Persia being interviewed, and Persia's like seen looking off at the monitor, and she's like, "Oh, I really like Duke's new look. I'm loving that short hair." And Indi has to tell Persia to focus, and Persia laughs and says, "Focus? Okay, Mrs. Loomis, you never focus, but now you're giving me attitude." Kaylee Ray walks in. She's their partner tonight, and she's got a green baseball bat. She says, "Tonight we stake our claim. You guys are going to get the tag titles, and I'm going to get the women's world title from Indi," and they're ready for their match. But yeah, she's got a bat. She's going to use it or what?
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really understand what the hell she was talking about. In my notes, I actually have here that Davey Portman was trying to choose between watching In the Heights or Suicide Squad on his airplane. He was trying to figure out what to watch. Then I also wrote down, they're showing Ric Flair Car Shield commercials again. Is it okay to talk about Ric Flair now? I don't know. I'm confused about that. I thought they pulled those commercials.
Every time I watch NXT on USA, if I do watch it on USA, I see that Ric Flair commercial.
Oh, so they do show it. Okay, okay.
And what do you think he chose? I think he chose the Suicide Squad.
Oh, you mean on the
Yeah,
I think knowing Davey
the
Portman
new
and
one.
his love for musicals, I feel like he might have chosen In the Heights. He just probably won't tell us.
It's a longer movie too, so it would take up a bigger chunk of the flight.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, that's not bad. I haven't checked out Peacemaker yet, but I definitely do. I wasn't too high on that new Suicide Squad movie, but I thought John Cena was probably the best part about it.
Are we gonna get John Cena as the Peacemaker show up in the Royal Rumble?
Jeez, he would do it. He
I
would
know.
do it too. Wow, put money on that right now, 'cause
Right?
this fucking guy might do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, I heard the reviews for it are pretty good though. People are like, oh,
Yeah.
a few people at work told me as well, so I do want to check it out. I hear there's a super wrestling movie coming out. I heard the rumors that it's Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Dave Bautista making what, God of War?
Well, no. There's a lot of rumors because the Rock tweeted out something about. All he said was like, "I'm gonna be in a really big badass video game franchise that I used to love or whatever." So people are just like guessing at this point. So some people are like, "Oh, maybe Gears of War with Batista." I personally think it's gonna be God of War because I feel like he can pull off the Kratos look.
Hey, who?
So yeah,
Batista or The Rock?
no, The Rock. The Rock, I think, can definitely pull it off. But if it's him and Batista together, I can definitely see like a Gears of War because that's all like big, me-headed like guys together.
Oh yeah, isn't
So.
he in the game? Batista was in the game.
He was like a skin. Yeah, they added him in as a
Yeah.
skin. So, he's been pushing that for a long time. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna be in it if they do make it. And I even heard rumors of John Cena being Duke Nukem. So there's a lot of wrestling video game things that could be happening soon.
Wasn't that an old rumor when he just started getting into acting? Someone asked him like, "Yo, would you play Duke Nukem?" And he's like, "Yeah." for
Yeah,
sure." That
and I
would be
guess they
pretty
were
good.
like, "Oh, he's but that time he was like goody two shoes Cena, so he'll never do it." But now he's doing Peacemaker, where he's like the most M-rated he's ever been, so he can definitely just do the Duke Nukem role now. I think.
That would be pretty weird, but I would say it would have my interest as far as video game movies go. But we go to Toxic Attraction back on NXT. They're coming out, and they're the champs. It's the era of Toxic here with Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane. And they're getting ready for their match next. I hate the thing where they make them come out and then we go to break and then come back to other things. But Legado del Fantasma are backstage, and they say that Braun Breaker has no friends. And next week, we challenge him to a 2-on-1 because he doesn't have any friends. And it's highly unlikely he has any to show up for him because he's the champ and it's a lonely job. 0 friends. No friends zone. More on that later, I guess. You think Braun Breaker has any friends? Find out later.
I thought he was gonna pick his dad. I'm like, he's not having any friends. He's gonna
Yeah,
have to
I
talk
mean,
to his
yeah.
Gremlin. Why not? Or Scott Steiner?
go.
I'm sure Scott's got to be wrestling. Uncle Pump. Bring him back.
I mean, at some point, can we just get the Steiners in here and change this guy's name? Again, back to the changing wrestlers' name talk. I still think this guy's got one of the worst ones. Braun Breaker.
I think that'll be
Dolph
the only.
Ziggler.
I think that'll be the only way. If they ever put like the Steiner brothers in the Hall of Fame, have Braun Breaker induct them, and then have like Scott or Rick be like, "All right, you've earned a name now. You're Rex Steiner, whatever the hell you want to call him." I feel like they would have to like approve it, obviously, because it's like they own it. So I think if they put him in the Hall of Fame and has some sort of agreement, saying, "All right, now you can have the name," that's probably the only way we're gonna see it, a name change.
Yeah, they just want to own his name, so they own it and he can't use it somewhere else, like all these other guys are doing. Well, we go back to the ring, and the match is next. The tag champs and the women's champ are going up against Indi, Persia, and Kay Ray. There's some brawling in the ring, and then everyone's kind of on the outside, and then Kay Ray dives off the top to everyone like a swan dive, which looked pretty cool. Toxic at one point pull Indi's hair, stopping her from trying to make a tag as they go to commercial. We get the heels here just working down, beating on her. There's a neck breaker from JC Jane, and they're just putting the boost to her until finally Indi tags to Persia, who comes in. She's on fire. There's clotheslines and German suplexes. Kay Ray is in. There's super kicks, and then she gets her bat. What's with bats in wrestling? She then chases Mandy with the bat, and Mandy runs away. I mean, fair play. I would run away. Someone came at me with one of these like softball bats. Pirotta's in the ring, hits this like running boot, almost like the sick kick to Gigi, and then hits the sitting spit out, like the spinning TKO facebuster for the win. Persia is great. Persia is someone would love to see more in wrestling through the years. I think she could go pretty far. In fact, the team of Indi and Persia work really well for me as well. But I thought this was a good showing from her again. The team of Indi and Persia keeps setting them up for like the hot tag, which then Persia just cleans house. But yeah, and then the bat. So it basically was a tag match towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a setup for 2 future matches. I don't know if they're going to add them both to Vengeance Day, but it looks like we're obviously going to get Kaylee Ray and Mandy Rose for the women's title, and Indi and Persia against Gigi and Jace for the tag titles. This is the match where Wade Barrett says that Papa Shango has a better chance of showing up in the Rumble than he does, so that was interesting. But yeah, the match was fine. It was good. You know, a little belt action. Hopefully, I mean not belt, bat action. Hopefully, they're not going to like make a gimmick match with the bat at this point between Mandy and Kaylee Ray, but I wouldn't run it past them to do like a bat on the pole or whatever at this point.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean they've been using the bat way too much, I feel like. Or maybe have some sort of like rage match where like, I don't know, you got to break yourself out of a cage or something. Who knows? Some stupid gimmick. But yeah, the match was fine. It was fine. I liked it.
Yeah, I had some cool spots. I would like to see Indi and Persia kind of take the titles from Toxic Attraction, but
I can see that, yeah, because they're like one of the only teams that actually used to team outside of NXT or WWE in general. They have that history, in Australia, so I can see them definitely getting the titles.
We go to a video for a tag team that won last week, and they advance in the Dusty Classic. Malik Blade and Idris Anafe, and it's like almost like a music video where it's like there's music playing and then they're talking and there's clips and they say, "We are in the semifinals," and who knew that we could go all the way, because we can and we will, and we're gonna win the Dusty Classic. Then is it Idris who says, "I'm gonna ask out Mandy Rose"?
No, Idris was telling Malik to ask out Mandy Rose, and Malik was like, "Oh no, I can't do that. And then Idris was like, "If you ask out Mandy Rose, I'll ask out Gigi and JC." So I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the NXT locker rooms. I don't know what's in the air. But yeah,
so,
a lot of love. You know what it is? It's a lot of love in the air. It's Vengeance Day, Valentine's Day. So I feel like we're gonna get some couples finally get together by Valentine's Day. I feel like that's probably what they're going for.
Yeah, I mean NXT 2.0 is very horny.
I mean, but look at Trick and Carmelo. Trick and Carmelo they had their eyes on Toxic Attraction, and they already moved on to the next new thing.
Oh.
It's like when you're in school and you're like you got a crush on this girl in school, and then like a new girl comes that gets transferred over, and you're like, forget about that girl. I want this new girl. I want OllieJayy. That's what's happening in NXT. Move on to the next one.
They're saying that hey, people said we could never go far in wrestling. People said we couldn't make it. People said we couldn't win a match in the in the Dusty Cup, and we did. So I have to ask her out, is what he says. So yeah, more relationships and stuff in NXT. I thought the ending of the video was really weird. It like cut to their faces like smile. It was kind of weird, but
that should be the prize for winning the Dusty Classic. Forget about the cup. The winner of the men's Dusty Cup gets to go on a date with the winners of the women's Dusty Cup. That's the stipulation.
Yeah, sure. More stipulations of people on the line. Let's go to Raquel Gonzalez, who's working out backstage when Cora Jade, or I guess the PC really, Cora Jade shows up and starts bothering her. I imagine, you're at the gym, you're at Planet Fitness, you're just doing your shit, you got your podcast in, or you got your metal music pumping, you're just in the zone, and here comes Cora Jade, who keeps trying to get in your face, like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And Raquel tells her to buzz off. And Jade says, I can lift the same weights too, and tries to do it. Let me prove it. And she can't necessarily lift it. So Raquel just stops her and says, look, don't get in my business. Don't get in my face. I don't want to team with you. I know what I've been through. You know it. Like people get broken up, these teams, and just don't push me. So they're kind of like pulled apart at the end. But yeah, Cora is on the pursuit of Raquel to be her partner. But I don't know, after this, still not looking good, this odd couple.
I don't know what's going on, because they said the men's Dusty Classic, the finals is going to be at Vengeance Day, but they didn't give any sort of like start day for this women's one or what's going on. Like half these teams can't even like get together or get along. So I think Cora and Raquel are going to be the odd couple team. But
and win it.
Yeah, they probably are going to win it, aren't they?
Not Indi and Persia, but Cora and Raquel. Maybe I still want them to win, but yeah. Well, we go to our next match in the Dusty Cup, which is the Grizzled Young Veterans going up against Andre Chase and Bodie. I'm not saying his last name because I forget it, and also I think it makes him sound cooler if we just call him Bodie. But what's his name? Is it Harwood? Cashwood?
Bodie Hayward, but as I like to call him Blonde Bo, and I put that in John Pollock's head earlier today, and he texted me during the show saying, "Now I can't look at Bodie and not think of Bo Dallas."
Yeah, he does look like Blonde Bo. He's Blonde Bo, so he's Bodie.
He looked a little bit like
Bodie.
Billy Gunn in this one, also, like with the red bandana and right.
Oh, he had
like
the
Billy
bandana.
Gunn.
Yeah, he looks like he could be in the Gun Club for sure.
Right?
100%. Wow. So Chase University versus the Grizzled Young Vets. We get Andre Chase in there. He body slams James Drake, and then he starts doing the give me a C, give me a H, and does the whole thing like the Spirit Squad after hitting a side Russian leg sweep. What does that all spell? And then he gets punched in the face. Eventually, the GYV hit like this, almost like the Indie Taker, or not quite the Melter Driver, but double shoulder breaker on the outside, which is pretty cool. Back in the ring, Chase comes back to life with a backslide for a near fall. There's then Chase with like some pretty cool technical wrestling for a guy who's got really the short end of the stick when it comes to gimmicks here, as he's just a university professor. He can do some pretty cool wrestling stuff. He does like this handstand technical counter to get on his feet, and then eventually hot tags to Bodie, who comes in, and they mention he's got a football background, and he's hitting these huge football shoulder tackles, and he catches Gibson in midair and body slams him, and then does these football stances, standing splash, like the football, what do you call these? I'm sorry, I'm not huge into it, but it's like the football standing and running in the spot and then dropping down to do like the push-up.
3-point tackle.
Something like that. Is it a burpee? I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that. He hits a series of these. I don't know, but if JR was watching, JR heard about OllieJayy, so he tuned in. And then he saw Bo and was like, yo, we got to get this guy. He does football stuff. The football body slam splashes, and then eventually he gets hit with a double code breaker. So each of the GYV guys jump at the same time and hit a code breaker on each one of their knees, and it's over. The GYV win. But I can't say I absolutely hated Bodie, but it made me laugh with the football stuff. But it's still like early stuff for this guy. But yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean that should be the gimmick, right? It should be like he's a new guy, he's a new person that joined the Chase University, and he should be like looking rough. He should be looking like he's learning because he just joined the Chase University. Whenever I see Andre Chase, like he looks like a trainer to me. He looks like somebody who like 3 to 4 years is gonna just become like a PC trainer at this point. I mean, they need trainers, right? They lost a whole bunch, so I wouldn't be surprised if he transitions to that role. Harlem Bravado's been around for a long time, so I can definitely see him taking that trainer role. And he already looks like it right now. It looks like he's literally training Bodie. Like that's part of his job description. Like you go out there and train him. Same way that Joe Gacy is like partnered up with Harland, and AJ was partnered up with Omos. They put these like veterans with these like fresh rookies so they can actually learn with them, and I feel like that's what's going on here with Bodie. He has potential.
He's a professor, though. I mean, Andre Chase, his gimmick is he's the professor. We got his university, so clearly Bodie's got like this sports background. What is he's on the football team at Chase University, the football scholarship. I mean,
with a name like Bodie, he's got to be a surfer, right? Give this guy a surfer gimmick. Put it with Shinsuke Nakamura. Him and Shinsuke surfing.
Break, yeah, Point Break,
right?
Point Break gimmick with Shinsuke and Bodie.
Oh my god,
you just gotta learn how to...
Point Break versus Jacket Time. Sign me up.
Sounds nuts. Call them Point Break, Shinsuke and Bodie. Yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, Andre Chase, the gimmick is silly. Bodie is still new, but I mean, I'm happy that GYV go forward. But the story comes after this because after the match, Andre Chase and Bodie are attacked because, yes, it's Tuesday, which means it's Come Tuesday because he's back. he's here. I'm blanking on his name now. I was going to call him Ward Duck. Yeah, Von Wagner. He's in here, but he's not alone. We knew that he was suspended. We knew that he was taken away, but it was lifted and someone paid the fine, and that someone is here with him. Robert Stone.
Yeah, I
with
thought it was
Von
gonna be.
Wagner.
I thought it was gonna be Matt Hardy and Andrade with the new AHFO lifting his thing, but no, it was Robert Stone. He got some money somehow. Yeah, and Juan Wagner putting on the suit jacket, like looking a little better. Give him a little bit of a character now.
Yeah, you know what? He looked a little bit fancier. I mean, Robert Stone clearly took him out suit shopping and made him look good. I wonder if now Wardlow. Sorry, see, I'm calling him Wardlow, but he's Von Wagner. Damn.
Wagner.
I'm wondering if
He's gonna wear shoes with no socks, right?
Yeah. No shoes, no socks with his shoes. Definitely is what he's gonna go. I would be interested because I do think he's a good wrestler. But wow, yeah. But he attacks Andre Chase in this guy, so we're gonna see that match soon. I assume.
You know what?
We go to
This is another case of putting a rookie with, Robert Stone's been around for a long time. Robbie E was in TNA for years, so that's another case of putting in like a veteran with a rookie. It seems to be a formula they're going with, so it can't be bad. It didn't work out with Kyle O'Reilly, obviously, so maybe Robert Stone's gonna be the person that can help I can't even say his name either. Von Wagner, help him, get a little bit better in NXT.
It's like NXT at the very beginning. We had. Chris Jericho with Wade Barrett. We had Miz and Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Lay Cool with Low Key. Just vets.
I mean,
vets and newbies.
They're doing like these triathlon things on Monday Night Raw, so they might as well start doing some things on NXT also.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
We go to Grayson Waller, who sent in the video here. He's talking to LA Knight, SmackDown's superstar, LA Knight, who he says, hey, you got to meet my new friend who's behind him here. It's Sanga, who we saw last week help Grayson Waller with his victory over Dexter. And he says, I know you want me, LA Knight, but Sanga wants to meet you first. He goes off about him being a Bollywood star or something like that, but Sanga versus LA Knight's going to be happening possibly next week. But yeah.
Yeah, I was a little confused by this. I mean, first of all, they changed his name. He was like Surav, and now he's Sanga. And then they I mean, obviously the AJ Grayson thing is done, but LA Knight appeared on a backstage segment on Raw because he had a dark match or whatever, and he had a little segment with the Dirty Dogs, Dolph Ziggler and
it was on SmackDown. Oh, my bad. I said it was on SmackDown.
No, what they're doing is they're doing both shows. So what they usually do is they'll be on SmackDown. It was him this week. It was him and Roderick Strong. They'll do a dark match on SmackDown, and then they'll have matches before Raw for main event. So they actually used him on the digital bonus thing after Raw, and it was him with the Dirty Dogs. And they had even Dolph Ziggler even teased coming down to NXT because they got into a little spat or whatever. And he's like, oh, maybe we'll come down to see you. So I expected the Dirty Dogs to come out and do something with LA Knight. But maybe not. Maybe LA Knight shows up in the Rumble. Who knows? But they're definitely teasing something between LA Knight and the Dirty Dogs. So it looks like they're going to continue this Grayson Knight thing for now.
Wow. NXT legend Bobby Roode, former NXT champ. Ziggler, I think he's had a few appearances, one or two, in NXT back in the day. But damn.
Yeah, and Bobby Roode and LA Knight, they got to have history, right? They must have been in TNA at the same time at some point.
I don't know if they were, to be honest. I don't know, because he was a lot later. He was definitely in Impact days. We go to a video for WWE 2K22. Are you excited about this new video game?
I guess. I mean, me and my son were just playing 2K19 still the other day, so I'm not in a rush to get it. But they showed a couple interesting things. There's a GM mode and this and that. Who knows? I'll probably eventually get it. Probably not day one, but I'll get around to it.
Yeah, we still play 2K19 and just download characters and stuff because it's dated now. There's so many wrestlers that aren't even wrestling anymore and all that. But we had just download all these other people like Penta in the Joker gear.
You think that game is dated? Wait till you play the new 2K and 30 of the people aren't even on the roster anymore.
Yeah, true. How many? There are going to be 12 people in this game.
I don't know. They're promoting NXT and NXT UK in it, so who knows who's going to be in the game?
Well, if you pre-order, you get the different Undertaker downloads. Yes. You get American Badass Undertaker. You get Ministry Taker. You get the Undertaker with the mask.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever been in the game, or at least not recently.
Yeah. Do you also get? What's the what other gimmicks did he have? And I guess we just call him Mark McCool now. You get that one with the
You want the
Blue Lives Matter
T-shirt?
hoodie.
I don't think he's making the cut. But you might. But hey, you could do Undertaker versus Machine Gun Kelly if you want.
Yeah, was I crazy, or did I see Machine Gun Kelly?
Yeah, he's doing the soundtrack. He's the executive producer of the soundtrack, so they put him in the commercial.
All right. No Megan Fox?
No, not yet. I'm sure you can probably download her.
MGK should be a special download in the game, because everyone wants to beat him up. Same with Pete Davidson for some reason, but he's cool. And they're best friends. We go to Odyssey Jones, who's injured, and they mentioned that he could be out till like the fall because of this, is it patella injury? So serious injury, and they're wishing him the best. And as do we. Shout out Odyssey Jones, get better, so you can take out Harland, get revenge. We go to our next match, which is Io Shirai versus Tiffany Stratton, Eddie's little girl, versus the Genius of the Sky. What do you think of Tiffany's music here? It reminds me of like American Rejects or like, Dirty Little Secret or something like.
If you go back and look at Io's face while the music was playing, it was hilarious. She was like looking at it like, what the hell is playing right now? She was so confused. Yeah, the lyrics were like Daddy's Little Rich Girl. Yeah, it was. I don't know what was going on. It was
like
pretty bad.
Good Charlotte or something.
Yeah, which, definitely had good Charlotte vibes to it. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen to it later to be more concise about it. But we see them start here where it's Io kind of taking over Tiffany, but she counters her and throws Io out of the ring, which kind of gets the one up here and kind of smirks. But Io gets back in the ring and shows her how it's done with this huge face buster, sending her flying in the air. Io then starts taunting her and pretends she's on the phone with her daddy, like, "Oh, daddy, I'm gone." Like she's mocking her here. There's then running the ropes back and forth, like 4 or 5 times Io is, and then hits her with a running drop kick for a near fall. Tiffany comes back with a series of strikes, and I know her gimmick here, Tiffany. Her gimmick is she's daddy's little rich girl, and she locks in money clip. How great.
That was great.
She's a real one, this Tiffany. She's got the money clip, the original, $1 million dream here. Io eventually gets out of it. She hits the palm strike to Tiffany, not in the face. And then Io hits the moonsault for the win. But Io beats Tiffany. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, Tiffany didn't look that bad in this match. Being in the ring with Io Shirai, like everybody's gonna look good, I think. But the match was okay for what it was. Good little spot for Tiffany here. Yeah, that was really it. I mean, are we gonna see more like money-based moves? Are we gonna like find out who Daddy actually is? Like the more she talks about it, the more I keep thinking like it's an actual character they're gonna bring it at some point. Like who's gonna be Jerry Lawler? Like it's gonna be somebody terrible, right? So I can definitely see that like in the long run being like the character. I don't know.
I mean, you could have done it. We've already seen him here, but Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, it's funny. In NXT UK, there's like literally like the same character with Zaya Brookside, but with that we know who her daddy is because her daddy is Robbie Brookside, who's the trainer over there. So she's always on the phone like with daddy, they're treating me wrong here, and just sucking up to him so he can help her get better matches or whatever. And it's like the same storyline here. The only difference is we don't know who daddy is.
I don't know if we'll see said daddy. I think it's still just going to be this imaginary character. I hope it's not like Shelton Benjamin and his mama.
You say that, but you forget Brother Love, who we're definitely going to see at the Valentine's Day show, right? We're going to see Brother Love do a segment. We have to if he's on the show now.
I love you. Yeah,
we're going to see that. Yeah.
Vengeance Day, Brother Love. Yeah, Tiffany didn't show too much here, but I'm not still ruling the character or the wrestling out. Yeah, and it's Io. I love Io. I would like to see bigger things for Io. I would like to see her move up and let her have a shot on the main roster. I think it would be a nice kicking the ass to the main roster. Get some of these new people in, like your Pete Dunnes and your Roddies and stuff, if you do want to move some things. But speaking of Roddy, we go to him because we go to the Diamond Mine backstage with Roddy training, the Creed Bros training, all of them, and Malcolm Bivens calls out Gunther. He says, "Gunther, what an awful name. It should have been dumbass in all caps. Your legacy, this is your new beginning, huh? Well, this is the new beginning. The Creed Bros are going to win the Dusty Cup, and Roderick Strong's going to track you down and beat you, and then Ivy Nile's going to stretch you wasted days from here to your mother's house. So bring your boys and we'll bring ours." 6-man tag, the big money match. Then Roddy steps in and says, "You think you're tough? You European pretty boys? We'll take you down anytime." Oh, no, this isn't Roddy. This is the Creed Bros. Sorry. "We'll take you down anytime. No one outtrains us. No one outlasts Roderick Strong. And remember that the diamond mine is forever." So they're challenging Imperium to a 6-man tag.
I was surprised that Malcolm was allowed to say that, what an awful name thing. But like,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe WWE was like, you know what, it is stupid or whatever. So maybe in storyline sense, we know he's Walter, but for whatever reason, he just wants to call himself Gunther. That's what like the promo earlier said, right? Like, you know what my name is. Like, we're not gonna act stupid. Like, we're just gonna erase it. Like, we know my name is Walter. That's the name my parents gave me. Whatever he said. But for whatever reason, I want to call myself Gunther. And then him being a heel, have people like Malcolm Bivens say that's a stupid name. Like, at least if you're playing in storyline, like, okay, it's a little bit better. It's still a stupid name, but at least like you're not like treating the audience like we're stupid. Like, we don't know who Walter is. We know who he is, but the character of Walter now wants to be called Gunther, and at least people are recognizing that it's dumb. So I'm a little bit okay with that. Like, it's a little bit different than what they usually do.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I laughed when he said that line because he starts with it. Gunther, what an awful name, dumbass. Shout out Red Foreman. But yeah, he's pretty funny in what he says, and that match sounds awesome. I didn't think the Creed Bros sounded that bad either.
They were fine, actually.
But also Bivens is there. He's awesome. I'm sure he can give them some promo pointers if he had to. But
I think the taller one is Julius, right? The one that's like more like slim and taller. Yeah, he's the
This
better
is the
talker
bigger
of the
one.
two. Yeah. Julius is definitely the guy that has like the pipes, so the guy that can actually like talk, I think.
Yeah. Do you see Roddy being eventually kicked out of this group or whatnot? Or
Well, he's gonna be on main event this week, and let's just say this: LA Knight got a victory against Cedric Alexander, but Roderick Strong got a loss against T-Bar. So who knows what's
T-Bar?
happening? Yeah,
Which one's
T-Bar.
T-Bar?
T-Bar is Donovan Dijakovic.
Oh yeah, man, I
Yeah.
remember him. Bring him back.
Well, it's funny because like they're like slowly shedding everything from him except his stupid name. Like he literally like looks like Dijakovic now, but just for whatever reason they still want to call him T-Bar. So I don't know what's
Call
going
him
on.
Dijak.
Might as well, right?
His name, no, but they called him Dijakovic, right?
Well, yeah, he was originally
Donovan
Donovan Dijak, and then it became Dominic. I don't know. That's all I know.
They've been doing stupid names. That's what
You know
they've
what?
been doing.
You should take Dijakovic and turn him into Casey Jones. Have him with the hockey mask and the different weapons.
Right.
Pete Duncan, give him the cricket bat. We'll talk about cricket later, but make that a new character for T-Bar. Yeah.
Oh, we go to Trick and Mello, the North American champion, Carmelo Hayes, with Trick Williams. And they say, "Hey, everybody, please give a warm welcome to our girl here, the WWE Universe, and put some respect on her name. She is the flyest chick to ever step foot in the ring, OllieJayy." And then OllieJayy is in the middle of the ring. And the track plays, and she's performing one of her new songs, and it's like she's just kind of rapping over the song as it's playing, and she's it shows clips of Trick and Mello just like in the background, like wiling out her, and then it cuts to clips of Cameron Grimes, clips of Tony D'Angelo because they're about to wrestle next for the North American title contendership thing, but she's like rapping and going off, and what did you think of OllieJayy's performance?
This was weird. Okay, I don't know how to say this nicely, but she sucked. But like the thing I gotta say is like you had NXT Black and Gold, right? And at the same time, did they have like the NXT Loud, which was like their music division or whatever? Something, and those had some pretty okay artists, right? You had Poppy, you had the other bands that were doing music, whatever. And now I feel like with NXT 2.0, now you have NXT Loud 2.0, where it's musicians or artists, quote unquote, that are in development as well. I looked at this OllieJayy person, and she doesn't like to have a record deal. She doesn't even have like that many songs. She's like literally like just starting. So I feel like she's like literally a music artist in development. I did some research on her. I looked up some songs. She had a couple okay songs, but this song wasn't that good. And it looks like she's never performed before in her life. Like she just stood in one spot and kind of like just, went back and forth a little bit, but it wasn't like a performance. She wasn't like, she wasn't. What was that girl? Didn't they have that one girl at one of the takeover shows? I forgot her name. You know what I'm talking about? was like one girl that. No, it wasn't Poppy. It was a rapper also. She was a rapper. She actually was pretty good. I forgot what show it was, but she like actually was like doing a performance. But this was not it. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if she's like secretly a wrestler because she doesn't have too much like music history behind her. So I don't know if it's like a storyline. They're gonna bring her in or what. But they have somebody on their roster already, Nikita Lyons, who is a much better performer. If you actually look up Nikita Lyons' music, she's a lot better than OllieJayy is. So I don't know what's going on with this.
Nikita Lyons makes music?
Oh yeah, she's really good actually. Not like really good, but she's a lot better than OllieJayy is. Yeah, look up. She's actually like a singer, and I think she raps a little bit too. But look up Nikita Lyons, like on her Instagram page, you'll see like her music. She's been doing it for a longer time. So I was expecting like Nikita Lyons to debut and take her out. Like the way it was going, I felt like it was like set up for an angle, like she is supposed to suck. And I even thought the audience was like booing her at one point. I'm like, is this like an angle for like somebody to come out and attack her? So I guess we'll find out if they bring her back. But she is the theme song of NXT. So I have no idea what's going on with this, if it's a storyline or what. But I guess we'll find out soon enough if it's like a one-time thing or an actual like character.
She says, "I am NXT 2.0."
Yeah, that was weird. Like, I don't know what that was about. Like, that's the first sign that threw me off. I'm like, why is she like she's a heel? Like, what is going on here? And right when she said that, the crowd just kind of started booing her right away. So I literally was expecting like an angle to come out of it, but no, it was a weird song, "Make 'Em Fall in Love," whatever the song was called, with random clips of Tony D'Angelo and Cameron Grimes. Yeah.
Really weird. It was really weird. Yeah, very weird. I love.
But Twitter was talking about her. Twitter was exploding, talking about OllieJayy. She was very kind in retweeting and liking a lot of things as well. And we sent out an invitation for her to be in the Up Next Rumble. So if you guys go on the Twitter page, Up Next Podcast, and do a little retweet, maybe she'll accept the invitation.
This is true. Yeah, you did tweet out at her. Her Instagram is more poppin'. She's got a lot of Instagram followers. Yeah. But. Yeah, I mean, Twitter was going, wow. I mean, I think it's safe to say, maybe the performance didn't hit quite as well, but I think it's unanimous that she's single-handedly saved NXT, and I think it's safe to say NXT 2.0, NXT is alive and well now that we have OllieJayy here on our roster. Yeah, there was lots of people tweeting fun things about OllieJayy. She brought us all together, OllieJayy. Big fan. Yes. Big fan of OllieJayy. Yep. Shout out OllieJayy. You know what? Maybe we weren't. I'm not into. I love hip hop and I love new music and I love trap artists and the beats and stuff like this. But she was singing, or not singing, but rapping over the song that is just the song playing. I think that is really hard to make it sound good. I don't understand why people do that. Just play the instrumental and then rap over it, because we've seen the last time we kind of seen live hip hop here on NXT is Hit Row. And they were really good at doing it over actual instrumentals that they were doing. Just saying, it did. But then, I mean, she's OllieJayy. She's great. She's great. NXT legend. So you think she's gonna wrestle?
I don't know. Like it's like
I
don't know, because like it doesn't seem like she's not like a huge artist. So by the way, the rapper I was talking about was Naomi Fox. She performed at In Your House, Takeover In Your House. If you remember, if you go back and watch her, she did like the theme song for Takeover. That was a lot better than this. Yeah, I really don't know what this deal with this girl is. A lot of times like models like an Eva Marie or whatever want to use wrestling as like a stepping stone. Maybe she feels like it's the same thing. She might have seen the reaction tonight, like, oh, these wrestling fans love me. Let me try this. You never know. She might dabble in it. We had Bad Bunny last year with the wow. Destroyer. Maybe this year we'll have OllieJayy with the OllieJayy Driver.
OllieJayy Driver.
Yes, like the Jay Briscoe does a J Driver.
That'd be her finish.
Yeah. The OllieJayy Driver.
I mean, if she's in NXT, she's got to do NXT legend Beth Phoenix implant buster.
She can do that. Beth Phoenix looked amazing on Raw. She took out like 10 security guards. Shout out to Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, shout out Beth Phoenix. She's amazing. We go to, again, this was a weird music video to promote this match. So it was like a trap hip hop song. And clips of Tony D'Angelo and Cameron Grimes, who like the beef between them is not really like the history there is not long. But anyway, it was just weird. It's weird.
Yeah, it was like they're trying to do their version of My Way with Austin and Rock. Like this is not it. Like,
but there's no story between these two. Really,
no.
It's like literally
it was
last
weird.
week's. All right. Uh, it cuts to Tony D'Angelo backstage. He says, I can hear you chirping, and oh no, sorry, this is Grimes talking. Sorry, I wrote down the wrong person, but Grimes says he's gonna make him fall, and he's gonna bust his face, and he's got a date with Destiny. Man, I'm confused at who this cuts.
Was this the part where Tony D'Angelo was like talking to his hat?
Yes. Fuck. Okay. Yes, it was Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo. It cuts from the end of the song. Tony D'Angelo. It looks like he's talking to his hat. Yep. I was like, dude, how stoned am I that I didn't realize this was Tony D'Angelo cutting this. But why is Tony D'Angelo talking to his hat? It turns out he's not, and then he just holds his hat and turns around and cuts the promo. But I was definitely confused at that part because the music was still playing. Yeah. He says that he also is NXT 2.0, and he's going to bust Grimes' face in, and he has a date with Destiny at Vengeance Day for the North American title. And that match is next. But we see Tiffany backstage, who's on the phone with Daddy, and she says, "Did you see that? That ref was so unfair," and she's not happy about her loss against Io Shirai. So what's going to happen with Tiffany Stratton?
Well, she ran into Wendy Chu.
She runs into Wendy Chu, and she's going to have a match with her. Maybe they could be a tag team, the Sleepy Rich Girls. I don't know.
They could be Chuless, like Clueless.
Wow.
Well, she smacked her bottle. She smacked her bottle out of her hand, and she was like, "What did Chu say?" She was like, "Oh, that's my free refill or something." I guess they get free refills at the CWC with their drinks, but she was upset about that.
What's the rule with Starbucks? If you get free refills, that's the new.
If you buy your own cup and you bring it back, you can get a free refill. Yeah. Interesting.
Shout out Starbucks. Yeah, I think if you have a Starbucks cup, you're allowed to get a free refill of just drip coffee. Mm-hmm. Clearly, so it is confirmed that's what she's drinking in these cups. I mean, it's pretty much, but coffee wakes you up. But she's always still sleeping. We're gonna get this match.
We're gonna get the match. Wendy Chu against.
Yeah, we're gonna get the money clip escape into the sleepy Matrix spot for sure.
Go to sleep.
She needs to go. She needs to use go to sleep for sure. 100%. Our main event: Cameron Grimes, Tony D'Angelo. Winner gets a shot at Hayes for the North American title as Hayes and Trick are on the perch. We get Tony working the back of Grimes early on here and kind of the shoulder, throwing him into the ropes, Irish whipping him, and then catches him into what he looks like he's going for a big boss man slam, but turns it into a backbreaker, which looked pretty cool. For a kick out. There's a picture-in-picture when Tony's just beating down on him and hits a beautiful belly-to-belly suplex when we come back. There's then a side bear hug as he's working Grimes and wearing him down, but Grimes isn't giving up. He fights back with a running forearm and then another one, but Tony ducks one and hits him with a German suplex, but Grimes hits the full rotation here. This was like Tony D'Angelo is the Italian Kurt Angle, essentially, here, hitting this move, but Grimes kicks out. They're then running the ropes, and Grimes hits him with a collision course for a 2 count. There's then a huge exploder, almost like the Taz suplex, the capture suplex, overhead on Grimes into the turnbuckle. He's throwing him around here. Then Grimes up top for a moonsault. He slips at one point, but then eventually hits it and gets a 2 count there. Running boot in the corner, and then the crossbody off the top. He goes for the cave-in, but Tony ducks it. But on the outside, Dunn shows up with a cricket bat.
Cricket.
He hits Tony with it, who sells it like he's selling it like he got hit with a cricket bat, but he's also selling it like he's really annoyed. As he gets back in the ring, the ref didn't see that shot with the cricket bat. He's kind of on his knees as he's welcomed by the cave-in from Grimes, and Cameron Grimes pins Tony D'Angelo.
Yeah, I like this match. I was really impressed with D'Angelo. I think we got to start calling him Tony D'Angolo, as you said, the Italian Kurt Angle. He's got to start doing the D'Angelo slam and all that. He looked really impressive here, but I think the right man won. That's going to be the match for Vengeance Day. Cameron Grimes and Carmelo Hayes, so that should be a great match. But yeah, Tony D'Angelo didn't look bad at all in this match. Interested to see what they do with him next. I feel like he's the type of character that I can't see staying at NXT too long. Like, I don't think he's ever gonna get a title there. I feel like he already has the character down pat, and I feel like he's gonna be somebody who's gonna transition pretty soon to the main roster. and I think this match here could be a step closer to that.
I would like. It's weird because Cameron Grimes is doing the like whole GameStop stocks thing. That's such a character that would have gotten noticed on the main roster, like from news outlets and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if you could go back to that. And he still is not wearing his hat. I hope now that he has his Vengeance Day title shot, I hope he wears the hat against Carmelo Hayes because it'll give him good luck going up there for the title. But what do you think? You think he's bringing back the hat, John?
Yeah, I don't. He could steal Tony D'Angelo's hat. You know, he should have talked to his hat more. That's the key to keeping your hat. You gotta talk to the hat more. If you don't talk to your hat, one day you're just gonna go reach for it, and it's not gonna be there anymore. And unfortunately, that's what happened to Cameron Grimes.
You just see it. You gotta see him talking to his hat. You gotta think we're not crazy. He looked like he was talking to his hat.
You know what we need? We need more wrestlers wearing hats. Tweets. Shout out to Brock Lesnar yesterday in his cowboy hat.
Brock in hats. Yeah. Go give us a follow and look at our trending Brock in hats because he's showed up in a different hat this week. So
I think he saw the tweet because he hasn't worn a hat in a long time. But that tweet had some traction. I feel like somebody must have been like, "Hey Brock, look at all these different hats you wear," and he was like, "Oh yeah, wait till Monday."
Watch this. Hold my beer. Hold my elk meat. I'm getting a new hat. Whatever he is. Humble winner, Brock Lesnar.
I think so.
Yeah, you know what? I liked Cameron Grimes and Tony D'Angelo here. It was like had a lot of the wrestling. Tony D'Angelo, I think he showed me he can do a lot more than just the silly gimmick. Obviously, it's like a cartoon character. I watched SNL this week, and there was Pete Davidson made a joke about some mafia name guy, and then said, "Oh, that sounds like a mafia pro wrestling character, like an Italian mobster pro wrestling character." So I'm wondering if the writers, someone was like, "Oh, like Tony D'Angelo is just a stereotypical like, Italian mobster gimmick here." But the wrestling is actually there, so I am entertained by the stuff I've seen from him. And this continues the Pete Dunne feud. Now we're introducing the cricket bat. We have the crowbar versus the cricket bat. I'm sorry to say that I think a crowbar would probably win in that fight because you could rip the cricket bat into pieces. But if Shaun of the Dead has taught me anything, or Ninja Turtles has taught us anything, John, that the cricket bat is also a very good weapon.
Oh yeah, you can swing that crowbar right out of your hand. But right on Pete Davidson for a second, if he does make this, you heard about the story with him like taking like an abandoned Staten Island ferry and turning it into a nightclub?
That's what the article is. Yeah,
okay.
He was talking about that. Yeah, it's true.
I would definitely go there. I would definitely check it out.
Yeah, Pete Davidson and Colin Jost, who I've seen wrestle at WrestleMania superstar Colin Jost.
Yeah.
And Pete Davidson have bought this Staten Island ferry that is like just been chilling, and they're turning it into a bar / club for Staten Island.
That sounds awesome. I'd check it out.
Yeah, I would go to that. Maybe Kim Kardashian would show up.
Yeah, probably not.
Scarlett Johansson, because Colin Jost is Mr. Johansson.
Yeah, she'll probably show up. Yeah.
Are we gonna go?
Oh yeah, let's
Wu-Tang, the Wu-Tang would definitely show up to Staten Island.
Oh, for sure.
They should perform. Opening night, get Wu.
Yeah, Pete Davidson had a rap song with Method Man on SNL, right? The Walking to Staten Island. Yeah.
Book it. So the main event, Cameron Grimes is going to face Carmelo at Vengeance Day, and I'm super stoked for that match. I think that'll be a banger as well. I can't see Grimes winning, but I mean, we'll definitely be all cheering for him in his corner. But Hayes is on quite a run, so I don't know if that title change is going to happen necessarily. But there is a segment after this because we see Bron Breakker leaving the arena. He's in the parking lot, and if you know anything about NXT, doesn't matter if it's Full Sail or the CWC. Parking lots in NXT are bad news. And it's a bit of a throwback here, staying on the character, on brand here, as Legado del Fantasma show up in their fancy cars and looking like they're either going to kidnap Bron, because that's what they used to do, or beat him up, because they do that to people too. They just love it's GTA style. They love showing up, pulling up. The block is hot here in the parking lot with all of them, and they look like they're all going to beat the shit out of Bron. And he does have a friend. He's got a friend in Tommaso Ciampa who stands beside him here. And then they yell, "Vamonos, vamonos!" And they all get in the car. As they're about to leave, they say next week 3-on-2, Gato versus Bron and Ciampa, and they drive off. See ya.
Yeah, all right.
That's NXT.
Yeah, is it gonna stay on? Is it gonna stay 2-on-3, or is it gonna be 3-on-3, and we see a former do-it-yourself member join up with Ciampa and Breaker?
You think Johnny's gonna show up to help Ciampa and Breaker versus Legato? No, not at all.
I don't know. You never know. I was surprised. I was surprised Ciampa came back at all. Well, when I saw Pete Dunne, I should have been like, okay, maybe Ciampa's coming in, because the whole rumor was they were gonna get called up or whatever. So who knows if this is gonna be their last programs officially. I feel like we keep saying that every time Ciampa and Dunne have programs, it's gonna be their last program, but they keep coming back. Now I'm really joking about the Gargano thing, but I guess it's gonna stay at 2-on-3. I don't know. It's a little weird.
I don't know. I don't see Johnny. If Johnny ever did come back, his story is with Grayson Waller, obviously. But Ciampa, yeah, it's interesting. So Ciampa, there's some rumors that he might show up on the main roster for good. His hair, his beard is definitely different. Like he dyed it darker or something.
He dyed it when he showed up on main event. He was there for like 2 weeks having matches, and he dyed his beard black. Yeah.
So what? Did Vince watch them again and go, actually, I don't like them. Send them back to NXT. Is that
I guess, because it was Ciampa and Pete Dunne for a couple weeks, and now it's LA Knight and Roderick Strong, and now this week it's like Io Shirai and Dakota Kai, who I feel like Dakota Kai must have been called up like 10 times at this point. I don't know what's going on with her. Who knows? I have no idea what's going on, honestly. It's like I can't even predict what's going to happen to any of these wrestlers, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's really weird. I think Ciampa is just a crazy talented performer that they have here. Yeah, he's doing stuff here in NXT. He could be going into the trainer phase, but he's still jacked. He's still awesome, and I think he's got a lot left in the tank, is what it seems. And same with a lot of these guys. I look, watching Roderick Strong for years as well. It's like, man, I just want to see Roddy get his flowers, and I think he did with his time in NXT finally. But and still now he's still doing stuff, but. Why not bring the Creed Bros and Roddy up or whatever, or push Io Shirai, or just some of these people that have just been here and can show and can prove that they can get over and stuff. And Ciampa is definitely one of them. So it is interesting seeing him here, but it makes sense with Bron because he lost to Bron, and well, they had the respect thing and all that stuff. So yeah. So next week, handicap match 2-on-3. But what did you think of this week's NXT? What were some highs and lows for you?
It was okay. A lot of hype with OllieJayy. Like, I don't know if half of that was even serious, but a lot of people were talking about her. I don't think I'll be talking about her again after this performance. But the matches are good. I think my match of the night was definitely the opener with Jacket Time. And who did they fight? MSK. That was a really good match. The main event was okay. I think every match was pretty good. There wasn't like any like match that like really stunk up the joint. It wasn't like the best show, but it's definitely been on the better end of this rebrand since they started.
Yeah, I agree. I really liked the opening match, Jacket Time at MSK. It was pretty good. I actually liked Boa and Solo Sikoa. You know what? Nothing on this show made me overly grown or anything, as NXT 2.0 has definitely done. I know last week it looked like the ratings had been down like in the 500,000s or something for NXT, but if they continue to put on like good wrestling, it's still something. I know they do a lot of the quicker, shorter matches, and I wish we'd have. It's a problem AEW has as well. It's like less segments and more time on like the matches and stuff, and yelling things at me and stuff. Like slow it down a little bit. But at least they've added the Vengeance Day, which we kind of thought they would. And it's something to look forward to, like one of these like almost pay-per-view or premium events, but on a Tuesday, and it's actually after Valentine's Day. So any of you people in relationships or couples, you don't have to worry about it actually taking place on the 14th because it's just on the 15th. So everything's done. Chocolate's on sale that day, so go get some chocolate and watch Vengeance Day because it'll be great. Yeah. So
you don't have to watch Monday Night Raw on Valentine's Day. You can skip that and just watch Vengeance Day the next day. I'll tell you what though, if you said ratings were down last week, if the ratings go up for this week, I feel like we're gonna see OllieJayy every week.
OllieJayy, yeah. Look, hey, here we are making fun of her performance, but I think there's room for improvement. But obviously, the whole internet and everybody, and probably all their male demographic, are like, hey, more Anna Jay in NXT. So NXT 2.0 is OllieJayy.
Yeah,
OllieJayy is NXT.
I'll be looking very closely at Brandon Thurston and WrestleNomics' charts for this particular show and look at the quarter segments and see how they did for OllieJayy.
Yeah, I'm sure they're through the roof.
Yes.
I want to see graphs and charts and everything
Yes.
about the ratings and demo, all that for NXT. There is some feedback. If you join us on Facebook, there's a Facebook page for UpNXT. You can like it, but there's a Facebook group you can join, and we all post fun things in there, including feedback threads for the show. And I have it open here. I go to Mr. Alberto, aka Scrump.
Oh.
Scrump. Long time, first time. Love you, Scrump. He says, shout out OllieJayy.
I'll tell you what, a lot of people that haven't watched NXT in a long time, I heard them talking about NXT today. So I feel like a lot of people that never watched 2.0 or stopped watching it definitely tuned in for some segments, including a Mr. Scrum possibly.
Yeah, I mean, OllieJay's equals ratings. I'll read the next one because that one was really short. From Corey, who writes in, that OllieJayy performance was real bad. Like, outstandingly so. Big banter. Io with her mocking Tiffany's daddy girl gimmick was great, though. Hope Io finds a decent partner for the Dusty Classic. No idea who, though. Hopefully the Solo Boa feud is over and Solo can move on. Anyways, hey, Brady, how do you feel about supposedly showing up to... Oh, Io supposedly showing up. I was like, wait, am I showing up to SmackDown? How do you feel about Io showing up to SmackDown? Probably for a dark match. Yeah, as I kind of said earlier, I hope do get to see Io get a big push. I thought she was a huge star here in NXT, and I think pushing her on a main roster with more eyes can definitely make her even bigger star. But selfishly, I'd rather her go do other stuff outside of WWE at this point, just because it'd be a little bit more interesting. But yeah, who do you think's going to be her partner, John?
Who did I say earlier?
You mentioned Asuka or not
yeah,
Kyrie.
Asuka, Kyrie. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be Kyrie. I feel like it's gonna be somebody that's already there. I mentioned somebody. I totally forgot who it was, but I mentioned somebody who could be Io's partner. Yeah, it should be interesting. We'll see. We'll see who it is. Let's go to Sean McTeer here, who says, really good show tonight. Sorry, my son Lorenzo over here playing music. Really good show tonight. Great opening tag match between MSK and Jacket Time, and a really good Falls Count Anywhere match outside of Solo's burns miraculously healing between Boa and Solo. The women's trios match had some rough spots, but got better as it went on, and it was a nice win for Persia. Not a fan of the purgatory Io is in right now, but she did a great job helping Tiffany Stratton shine tonight, and Tiffany herself looked solid. Anyway, the OllieJayy performance shoved into the middle of the show was awkward AF. Totally unnecessary. But other than that, I thought the show flowed really well, and solid action and backstage segments and vignettes. Really, really good main event between Grimes and Tony D as well. Also, nice seeing Pete Dunne back from the dead, and Ciampa backing up Breaker. Really looking forward to next week.
So they got some things moving forward in pieces and places. Definitely some interest. We go to Dylan, who says, honestly, the only bit of tonight I really had an issue with was OllieJayy. Bring back Poppy. Besides that, the show had ups and downs, but no real bad parts. Von Wagner got a manager, so he doesn't have to talk ever again, which is good. Imperium versus Diamond Mine looks fun, and if Gunther is still presented like Walter, I can get over it. If they change up his character too, though, I will be pissed. Sign me up for Grimes and Hayes at Vengeance Day. Looks like we'll also get Breaker Escobar, Mandy Kaylee Ray, and Imperium Dusty Cup winners at that show. Yeah. Oh,
Frank Sulo. Yeah.
Well, wait, no. At Vengeance Day, it's going to be the finals, no?
At Vengeance Day, it's going to be the finals of the Men's Cup, they said.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the winner of that will face Imperium at a later.
Yeah. We go to Fire Frank Sulo, who says, safe travels, Davey. Shout out Ali. The MSK Jacket Time opener was a banger, and the 6-woman tag was pretty good as well. Solo went over strong in the street fight. Main event was pretty solid, and looking forward to Grimes versus Mello, and good to see Peter Dune back with cricket, bat in hand. Cricket, nobody understands cricket. You got to know what a crumpet is to understand cricket. Shout out to Ninja Turtles.
Yes. Davey Portman's favorite movie of all time.
You got to listen to the review to see.
Yeah, you got to find out. And finally, we go to Kevin, who writes in, really enjoyable show tonight. Opener was solid. Solo and Boa had a nice street fight. Women's trio was what it needed to be, and glad Grimes is going to get a one-on-one shot. Bodie Hayward gives me those NXT Bo Dallas vibes, and I'm all for it. Diamond Mine versus Imperium. Yeah, Diamond Mine versus Imperium next week. Can't wait. And question, what NXT executive or talent made a mistake at an Orlando adult establishment or went too far in the DMs, and instead of getting sued, they decided to let OllieJayy perform?
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna answer that question. But yeah. Shout out to OllieJayy.
Yeah, shout out to NXT 2.0. What a crazy week. There was some good wrestling, and they threw in a musical guest that really didn't hit. But the needle will move when people see OllieJayy showed up. They'll be like, "Who?" And then when they see this is what she looks like, the ratings will go through to the moon, possibly.
Yeah, I'm really curious what's gonna happen with OllieJayy. I'm looking at her Twitter now to see if there's any updates, and no, she's just retweeting just random fans. So yeah, no OllieJayy
Shout out
update.
OllieJayy.
I'll be.
Shout
You know
out
what?
you.
I'll suggest myself. I'll volunteer to be on OllieJayy watch for the next couple days, just to make sure everything's good. I'll just watch all her posts and everything, and I'll keep you guys updated if there's any updates.
She should join Trick and Mello. Like, she should join their crew. She should be like another manager for him.
Yeah,
except it's like Hit Row, where she's the rapper.
I was gonna say, remember when NXT had a good female rapper?
Yeah, BFAB. Shout out BFAB.
Shout out BFAB.
Right? Shout out BFAB. Shout out you, John Siino, for joining me here today, filling in for Mr. Davey P, who is traveling to the UK. But appreciate you joining me here today. Where can the people find you and listen to more of you?
Yeah, absolutely. Every Wednesday, Shot in the Dark for free on the upNXT feed. Follow me on all your social medias, including Twitter at CinoEvil, CNOEVIL. And do me a favor, while Davey's traveling right now, I want everybody to go on Twitter and tweet at Davey and ask him which movie that he ended up seeing. So when he turns on his phone in the UK, he's going to get flooded with all these messages asking about what he watched.
Yeah.
Just to make him feel special.
Also ask him what the actual password is for our Zoom login, or we would have started a lot earlier tonight if he gave me the right one. No, I love you, Dave.
Yeah.
You did give me the wrong password, motherfucker. So John, thank you. Yes, listen to Shot in the Dark. It's on this feed where you, John, talk all the other wrestling and stuff. So it's super awesome to listen to in 15 minutes or less. You can get all your little tidbits on everything you didn't watch or did watch this week in the world of wrestling, because there's so much to watch and to consume. But thank you for consuming this podcast. I will be back tomorrow night with BD Elite, and I'm going to be joined by bodyslam.net. Man's name is Cassidy Haynes. He's going to be joining me. We linked up in New York, Grand Slam, and I was like, hey, man, I would love to do a show with you sometimes. I know you mentioned earlier you were with him at GCW, so we'll chat all about some AEW tomorrow. We'll go live on Twitch at 10:15 Eastern time, but then, of course, the pod will be up here. And, of course, you want to listen to all the other podcasts, patreon.com/upNXT is how we do the damn thing. It's what we do for a living, and we appreciate all the support. And we put out so many podcasts. There's all the retro NXT reviews. Was next. We go through NXT. We're in 2013. We have best match ever. We have so many out. We have a upYOURS where Frank picked Ninja Turtles 1990, the OG movie. That was awesome. We also have Royal Rumble 2000 review, which is coming out this week. So many things. And of course, the upNXT Rumble is going to be absolutely bonkers, and that one is free. So many things, guys. Join the Facebook group if you haven't. Follow us on Twitter for all the updates. And crazy week. Rumble week. Rumble, young man, Rumble. John, thank you. I will, I'm sure I'll be talking with you in the near future. And thank you guys for listening as well. I myself, Braden Herrington. I'm on Twitter and I'm on Instagram at @TheBrayD. And I have a TikTok now, but I'm too old enough to figure it out. But hey, go follow me there too, and maybe teach me or show me how to use it properly. But at @TheBrayD as well. Thank you, and we'll be back. That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And shout out Anna J one last time, because
yeah, shout out OllieJayy as well, but Anna J too.
Anna J. Oh man, what did I say? Anna J. Yeah, I mean, hey, shout out Anna J as well. But yeah, one love to OllieJayy. Good night. Goodbye.
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.